What's up, YouTube? It's your barber girl, T Fire the Barber, and welcome back to another fade on the Faded Room. As you can see, we have our client here sitting down, and today the service that we're giving him is going to be a high taper. So we're going to get right into it. First, we go in with our number 2 guard just to clear out that bulk at the top and just to even it up a little bit, so when we go and start blending, it's an easier transition. As you can see, this is pretty much taking down a lot of that bulk that's at the top there. It's not quite a blend. You could see a difference in between the bottom part and the top part, but that's where we come in, and that's where we're going to be blending that out. So right now, we're going to go in and start our first guideline. Create our first guideline and start this taper up for him. We create it pretty low because we want a good transition all the way up to the top. As you can see, it's pretty clean and nice. We're gonna make this top rounded. He don't really want anything done to the top of it, so we're just gonna leave it really shaggy and everything like that. So we're gonna go into our next step, which is clippers, no guards, all the way closed, just to have that little transition between the liners and our blend, the rest of our taper in the back here. Now we're gonna go in with our clipper all the way open, no guard, and create our next guideline. And we're just going to be flicking out to create that guideline here in the back. As you can see, our blending keeps going up, and we're just going to blend into that line that was created at the top when we were debulking. Now we're just going to go back in with our clipper halfway and blend that area out. Blend that guideline that we just created out. Right now it just looks like he's bald at the bottom and there's hair at the top, but all that work that you're doing right now is gonna, like I keep telling you guys, it's gonna show at the end, so just stay tuned. Now we're gonna go in with our number 1 and all the way close and create that next guideline. And you guys can see we're pretty much getting into that thick area, that dark area, and we're just gonna keep working. Just gonna keep working, creating our guidelines. Make sure they're nice, so we can go back in and knock it out with that half guard all the way closed. And then we're just gonna knock out that guideline that we created there, you guys. You guys can see it's blending pretty good. We're up to a number 1 and it's blending really good. Now we're gonna go with a number 1.5 all the way closed, and we're gonna create our next guideline, as you guys see. And in this area, because we're coming to the top of our taper, you know, we're just trying to blend this area in, so we're not really doing big strokes going up. We're just doing little strokes going up, and then now we're just coming back down just to blend that area out. These are the things within your cut that you have to start getting creative with, and how to blend things. They don't always go the same way, they don't always follow the same steps. You just got to get creative in blending those areas out. And that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm using different guards. I'm going between the number 2 guard and the number 1.5 guard to blend it together, and then later on go back with the number 1 guard just to clean up anything that's there. Right now what I have on is the number 1.5 guard, and we're just going in, as you can see, at side angles and just blending this area, because we're not trying to create another guideline. We're just trying to blend this area in and make it look good. That's the number 1 that I just went in with. Right here, we're going back to the number 1 and blending out any dark little marks and dark areas that we see, because our taper in the back there is pretty much done. Now we're going to move to the side, and we're going to do the same thing on this side, you guys. We're going to bald it out first, and then we're going to move into our next step. Here, we're going with the number 2 guard just to debulk the area, just like we did in the back. The only difference is that we're going up now instead of down in the back. And like I said, you guys have to be creative and figure out what works for your client for different parts of the head. Now we're going to go back with the no guard all the way open and create that guideline, as you see right there. This side is going to go a little faster, you guys. As you know, we already created the back, and it's going to be the same step, so we're just going to go a little faster on this side. Here, since we went in with it open, now we're going back with it closed, and we're switching our lever in between open and closed just to blend out that area. Now we go back into our number 1 guard, and boom, blending that area pretty good. Now we're just sculpting, taking off all that bulk that's there, making sure we're not creating any other guidelines, but also making sure we have enough room and enough area to blend. Now here we are going back with our number 1.5 guard just to clean up that area. This is more of a, you gotta figure out what's gonna work at the side here, you guys. There's no necessary step to this side to blend this area. A lot of people probably would have steps, but for me, it's just figuring out how to blend this area as best as possible. And that's what we got. As you guys know, we pretty much put in our guidelines, blend them out as good as we can now, and then we go back later and do detail work. So that's what's happening. Here we're moving to the right side of the head, and we're gonna keep doing the same thing. Since you guys already watched the first and second part, I'm pretty much gonna just talk to you guys about something throughout this part that is playing really fast. Just a heads up, you guys, for anyone looking to really have a really big change in their life, try to create a moment that stands out to you. Something that you will remember when you look back and see how your life has changed from that point on. I feel like that's really important and really big for someone to create, because we don't want to always be in the same position that we're in every year over and over and over. So to really have a lasting impact, or for you to feel like you've changed or something like that, just create a moment, anything that you feel like will stand out to you, that would impact your life in a positive way and get you out of the position that you're in right now. Just change your story, change something that will impact your life and put you in the best position possible, you guys. I'm just saying this because I've been in a situation where I needed a moment for myself, and I look back now and I think about that moment all the time. That's a moment that's imprinted on my story that I could keep telling everyone, because it's the moment that I realized how my life changed for the better. I had to go ahead and do it myself, but you know, like I said, it's a part of your story, and it's something that you could always tell everyone. So, you know, create your story, you guys. Now we're gonna go back into this fade. We're pretty much going to line up his mustache. He wants his mustache pretty full. As you can see, it's light, but he has a pretty full mustache. So we're just pretty much trying to keep that look. As you can see at the top, I'm really not taking that much off because he want to keep it, you know, as full as possible. Since it's growing out and everything, we're just trying to keep it as full as possible here. Most of the time you probably go in with a thin mustache here, but because you're trying to follow the way that his is growing, his is going to be pretty full when it comes all the way in. So we're just trying to keep that look. Keep him nice and neat. And now we're going into prepping the hairline. You guys, you know how big this is, and I try to stress it every single time I do a video. Prep the hairline to get the best hairline that you can for your client every single time. Clean the area, and it doesn't hurt to give them a little massage on the way there, you know, on the way to cleaning their forehead. Give them a good, nice facial massage. Your clients will thank you. It really does make a difference. Here we're just cleaning the whole face area since we already been cutting the hair. Hair's been on the face, so we're just cleaning the rest of the face, plus making sure the hairline area is ready and prepped for when we go in there to, you know, kill this hairline. Making sure we just dry the area. And now we're gonna go in, lining up that mustache area. Like I said, keeping it high and thick, but making sure it's nice and neat and clean and lined up. We're not trying to do too much, you guys. Just make it look good. And keep it as natural as possible, because that's what the client wants. And here we're back to the hairline. We're pretty much just gonna go in here and clean out any excess hair that we have, just so when we go in and line up, we don't have anything that's just hanging over or that's just in the way. We could just go in and create our best hairline that we can. Sorry you guys for all the movement in the background. So now we're gonna go in here, try to follow his hairline as natural as possible, and create our lineup. Take our time. We're doing our vertical bars here, just taking our time, keeping it as natural as possible with his hairline. As you guys can see, we're trying to get that straight angle as straight as possible. It's a little blurry here, but I just left it in just so you guys could see the angle at which I'm giving him his vertical bars. And here we are, just going back, doing a little cleanup work. We're gonna line up the back of the ear, and I feel like this is what really brings the taper together. You're gonna see how this area is just gonna, you know, make this taper stand out even more. And just go in and keep our hairline as natural as possible, but making sure that we also know that he got a haircut, you know, and a lineup. Bend the ear down, and we've just taken our time and using the corner of the blade, guys. For this area, it's tight, small. We're not trying to cut into the top of the head or, you know, hurt the client or anything like that. So just use the corner of the blade. Take your time and keep going around the ear. As you guys can see, we're pretty much keeping the area really natural, dark. And now we're gonna move over to the next side and do the same thing on this side. I really like this cut because it's nice and neat. It still has a shaggy top, but if you knock this haircut out and make it really look really nice and neat, you know, this top doesn't really look bad. And especially with a client that doesn't want to do a lot to the top, you gotta do as much as you can with what you're giving. So make sure the taper, the lineup, and everything else look great. So when you look at the top, it looks like it just blend right into your cut and it fits in, and that's the style. You get clients that come in like that, you guys, that don't want you to touch the top as much as you want to clean it up, you know, make it look good. Some people don't want you to touch the top at all, so here we go. We're doing our vertical bars with our razors. Don't forget to pull the skin just so we get as much tension as possible. This is as much. I had to convince him a little bit to get this little area off, and this is as much as he wanted me to take off. But it really helped the haircut. It helped the evenness of the haircut, the structure and everything, and you know, it allowed the haircut to look a bit nicer and a bit cleaner. As you guys can see, this taper really is just blended into the top of his head, and it's coming out pretty good. And we're still not done yet. We're just cleaning up the sides and the back. And look how nice that looks, the fact that he let me take off those extra bit of hair that was just standing there. It just gives the haircut a better continuity, a better evenness to it. Fullness, roundness, cleanness, everything. It just makes the haircut look better. Makes this taper fire, because it's your barber girl T Fire here, man. You already know what I'm coming with. Coming with that fire every single time. But yeah, we're just going back in here and cleaning up this area right here. You guys can see we're just doing detail work at this point. Go back in, you know, the longer you cut, the more you know, and barbers know, the more you'll know your blade, you'll know your cut. And here it is, guys, the finished product, the finished cut. Looking nice, clean, and sharp. The hairline having looking good, having feeling good. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this haircut. It was a really fun cut to do, and it's really nice working with him and, you know, creating this look. Like I said, he didn't want the top touch, so that's how we left it. But this taper is fire. This taper is clean. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please turn on post notifications so you could get notified when the next video drop. Alright, y'all know who it is. It's T Fire the Barber. Thank you guys for tuning in to another Faded Room. See y'all later on the next Faded Room.